17,000 subscribers divided by 58 million, 17,000 subscribers divided by 57 million followers. Do you know what percentage went? Do you guys really want to know? 0.003% went to want to subscribe to our channel. Did you understand what number I just said right now? To say they've lost their influence and their sizzle of what the Obamas used to be would be an understatement.
17,000 subscribers divided by 58 million. 17,000 subscribers divided by 57 million followers. Do you know what percentage subscribed? Do you guys really want to know? 0.03% chose to subscribe to her channel. Did you grasp the figure I just mentioned? To say they've lost their influence and their spark of what the Obamas once were is an understatement. Behind the polished speeches, best-selling books, and Netflix deals lies a persona crafted more on branding than substance.
If you can play this clip, this is her talking about how expensive it was to live in the White House. Go for it.
It's expensive to live in the White House.
Yeah.
As many people don't know. I mean, much is not covered. You're paying for every bit of food that you eat. You're not paying for housing and the staff in it, but everything, even travel. If you're not traveling with the president, if your kids are coming on a Bright Star, which is the First Lady's plane, we had to pay for their travel to be on the plane. It is an expensive proposition, and you're running for 2 years and not earning an income.
Patrick Bett dissects Michelle Obama's meticulously curated image, revealing how fame and celebrity were mistaken for genuine leadership. What appears as history-making is merely a continuation of the same political dynasty, refined to perfection. Bette David makes it undeniable. Michelle's legacy isn't transformative change, it's the art of marketing masked as meaning. Bob, if you can play this clip, this is her discussing how costly it was to live in the White House. Go for it.
It's Obama's net worth in 2007. What was Obama in 2007? 1.2 million, 1.3 million. Okay, so their net worth is, let's write this down. This is pre-White House. Their collective net worth was 1.3 million. Can you go to where their net worth was in 2016 when they're done being president? Okay, 2016. So their net worth, as expensive as it was, they went from being 1.3 million.
Expensive to live in the White House, as many people don't realize. I mean, much is not covered. You're paying for every meal, every bit of food you consume. You know you're not paying for housing or the staff in it, but everything else, even travel. If you're not traveling with the president, if your kids are joining on a Bright Star, which is the First Lady's plane, we had to pay for their travel to be on the plane. It is a costly proposition, and you're campaigning for 2 years without earning an income. Michelle Obama has spent years refining her image as America's beloved former First Lady. But Patrick Bet-David doesn't buy the hype. He tears into the carefully constructed brand, exposing the contradictions, the staged sincerity, and the relentless self-promotion that have turned Michelle into a walking, talking business.
So you watch, well, Rogan's interviewing other people. You're sitting there, and then you see panels. What do you think? What do you think? What do you think? You can say whatever you want about The View. Guess what everybody talks about every week? The View. Why? Because here's what she said, here's what he said, here's what she said.
Yeah.
So they're bringing, even though you can't stand what they stand for, they bring, Tulsian. They'll bring and have the fight with Stephen A. They'll bring and put the people on there, Junior and all these guys, and have the conversations with them. Of course, you don't agree with it. Michelle is doing a podcast from the standpoint of, you guys know who I am.
This model of victimhood wrapped in celebrity shine. She wasn't just a first lady. She was a marketing campaign with legs. And Bette David dismantles the myth with ruthless clarity. Obama's net worth in 2007. What was it in 2007? 2 million. 3 million. Okay, so their net worth is, let's write this down. This is pre-White House. Their collective net worth was 1.3 million. Can you check their net worth in 2016 when they finished being presidents? Okay, 2016. So, their net worth, as costly as it was, they went from being 1.3 million to...
Can you now go to their net worth today, 2025? What is the net worth today?
It's gotta be worth 400 million.
It's two numbers. You see 70 million to 250 million dollars. So 70 million to 250 million dollars. If you type in a couple other places, you'll see 100 million. You'll see 70 million. Or you'll see a couple ranges. But let's just stick to the 70 million dollars. Pre-presidency, 1.7. So expensive being at the White House. It was so expensive that our net worth went from 1.3 million to 12.2 million 8 years later. What an expense.
Enjoying this video, please make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon. Michelle's ascent to cultural icon status didn't stem from achievements. It came from branding. She wasn't elected. She wasn't chosen by the public. She was married to the right man at the right moment. Yet she parades as if her opinions carry the weight of an oracle, as if the nation should cling to every word of her speeches. Patrick Bet-David skewers this absurdity, noting that Michelle is the only first lady who somehow turned herself into a multi-million-dollar franchise, complete with a Spotify deal, best-selling books, and a global speaking tour, all built on the premise that she understands.
Say what I think she's trying to do. And again, pure speculation, folks. I may be fully wrong here. I think she's taking a page out of Jada Pinkett's playbook. Because I think they're getting ready to announce that something's going on in the marriage. And I think this is their way of doing it in a very subtle way, because if you're taking shots at him slowly, you're taking shots, they're going in games in different ways. I'm not sure if there's been an entanglement or not, but I think there may be a possibility of a news coming here soon that could actually get her podcast to blow up. And you know what could get her podcast to blow up? If she announces that they're getting
the struggles of ordinary people while residing in mansions and flying private. Right, so you watch while Rogan's interviewing other people. You're sitting there, and then you see a panel. What do you think? What do you think? What do you think? You can say whatever you want about The View. Guess what everyone talks about every week? The View. Why? Because here's what she said. Here's what he said. Here's what she said. So they're bringing, even if you can't stand what they stand for, they bring, what do you call it? Attention. They'll bring and have the debate with Stephen A. They'll bring and put the people on there, Junior and all these guys, and have the conversations with them. Of course, you don't agree with it. Michelle is hosting a podcast from a standpoint of, you guys.
This is a lady that sold 14 million copies of her book, 725 on day one. 8 million US, 14 million worldwide. Sometimes you gotta watch your own content from back in the days and see what happened. Now, don't get me wrong. If there is a divorce going on, if there is a challenge going on in marriage, if there is something like that and you're going through it, look, it's an issue. But
guys know who I am. Her persona as the ultimate relatable woman is one of the greatest cons in modern politics. She plays the part of the neighbor next door, the grounded mom who dines at Chipotle and shops at Target, but behind the photo ops and staged appearances is a woman who has spent decades surrounded by privilege, power, and luxury. Bet-David calls out the hypocrisy. Michelle preaches humility and sacrifice while cashing checks larger than the average family's lifetime earnings.
Barack Obama makes shockingly honest admission about the state of his marriage to Michelle. Okay, so here we go. Barack Obama, shocking admission about the state of his marriage to Michelle. Go a little bit low, Rob, if you could. So everybody's wondering, like, you weren't there at Jimmy Carter funeral, you weren't there at Trump, and Michelle I'm talking about, and then you start a podcast with your brother. Barack Obama made shocking admission on Michelle Obama. I was in deep deficit with my wife. He told Tepper, conversation Thursday. So I've been trying to dig myself out of that hole by doing occasionally fun things.
For giving a one-hour speech about shared struggles. It's not relatability, it's performance art for an audience desperate to believe in her authenticity. Can you now check their net worth today, 2025? What is the net worth today? It's got to be worth a couple $100 million. It's two numbers. You see $70 million to $250 million. So $70 million to $250 million. If you check a couple other places, you'll see $100 million. You'll see, $70 million, but you'll see a couple ranges. But let's stick to the $70 million. Pre-presidency, $1.3 million. So costly being at the White House, it was so costly that their net worth went from $1.3 million to $12.2 million 8 years later.
Obama office responds to Trump's accusation of treason outrageous. Let me read this, Jenna Thomas Ellsworth. I'm coming to you first, so please be prepared with all your notes.
Ready.
Obama's office spokesperson, Patrick Rodenbush, great first name, rejected the office of the Director of National Intelligence. Reports claim that senior Obama administration officials orchestrated the Russia collusion hoax, stating, out of respect for the office of the presidency, our office does not normally dignify the constant nonsense and misinformation flowing out of this White House with a response. And he called the allegations outrageous and ridiculous, a weak attempt of distraction. He said,
Michelle's brand is victimhood dressed as empowerment. Her speeches are filled with references to how tough life has been, how she felt invisible, how people doubted her, how she had to fight for her place. Bet-David finds the humor in this narrative. This is a woman who attended Princeton and Harvard, married a man who became president, lived in the White House, and now enjoys a life of unimaginable wealth. Yet somehow, she persuades audiences that she's still battling the system, still the underdog, still oppressed by unseen forces. Patrick dismantles this illusion, exposing it as the ultimate hustle, a billionaire victim narrative. Let me tell you what I think she's trying to do. And again, pure speculation, folks. I may be...
There's this story about Michelle Obama starting a podcast. And I kind of want to go through this, Michelle Obama's podcast. And her and her brother, they started a podcast. They look like twins. If you want to, no, I'm actually not being sarcastic.
Yeah, well, if she-
Rob, what is this, Rob?
Where's her
This
brother?
is the announcement of the podcast.
Okay, play the clip. Maybe this will help out a little bit with subscribership. Go ahead and play the clip.
Hey TikTok, it's Michelle Obama, and I'm here with my big brother Craig. Hey everybody. We're here because we're excited to announce the launch of our new podcast called I Am.
Office responds to Trump's accusation of treason outrageous. Let me read this. Jenna Thomas Ellsworth, I'm coming to you first, so please be prepared with all your notes. Ready. Obama's office spokesperson, Patrick Rodenbush, great first name, rejected the office of the Director of National Intelligence. Reports claim that senior Obama administration officials orchestrated the Russia collusion hoax, stating, out of respect for the office of the presidency, our office does not normally dignify the constant nonsense and misinformation flowing out of this White House with a response. And he called the allegations outrageous and ridiculous, a weak attempt at distraction. He said, Patrick Bet strips away the gloss and exposes Michelle as what she really is. A brand, a symbol, a product. Her legacy isn't about policies or reforms or even unique ideas. It's about selling herself as a cultural phenomenon. She has mastered the art of victimhood as marketing, privilege as struggle, and condescension as inspiration. And behind it all is the undeniable truth. Michelle Obama is less a leader than a celebrity who figured out how to cash in on politics without ever having to take responsibility. And that's the roast Patrick Bet David delivers, dismantling the illusion of Michelle Obama as a selfless icon. Instead, she stands revealed as the polished face of a political dynasty built on entitlement, branding, and hypocrisy, while Donald Trump sits in the White House as the current president. Michelle hovers on the edges of politics, desperately clinging to relevance while pretending to be above it all. Her story isn't about breaking barriers. It's about building a business empire out of victimhood and convincing the world to cheer while she cashes the checks. I don't need any of this nonsense, no, nothing. Obama was silent. Why is Obama silent? Ask yourself, ladies and gentlemen. He's above this. Or maybe he's deep in it, maybe he's not above it. He's deep in it. And so he sends a spokesperson, Patrick Rodenbush, which is what Obama doesn't do. He's never riding Bush has got an issue here. What was that? Now he goes to the office of the presidency and the office. So they're speaking in third person. Whenever you have people in Washington who are cornered, they speak in third person. Patrick Bet David doesn't just stop at calling out Michelle Obama's false image. He digs into what her continued relevance says about the state of modern politics. The fact that Michelle, someone who never ran for office, never passed legislation, and never debated policy, is still treated as though she's a looming presidential contender, is a perfect reflection of a culture addicted to celebrity over substance. Her entire aura is a brand carefully curated to keep the possibility alive while offering nothing of value in return. It's politics as influencer culture, and Patrick skewers that brilliantly. The irony is that Michelle Obama represents the very thing she pretends to stand against. She sells herself as the everywoman, the symbol of humility, but she lives a life of untouchable privilege. She talks about hardship while sipping wine in Martha's Vineyard, complains about the weight of public life while living in a mansion that could swallow an average American neighborhood whole. Patrick points out that her relatability is an Act 1 designed to tug at the emotions of voters who think that a first lady with book tours and Netflix deals somehow understands their struggle. If all of a sudden the Dems did flip in August and they put a News-Michelle combination, do you know what mainstream media would do with that? CNN, Jimmy Fallon, Colbert, all these podcasts, Oprah Winfrey, the NBA, LeBron. Do you know what Taylor Swift? Do you know what these guys would be doing? It would be bonkers. By the way, if it is Michelle and Newsom, it's going to be Michelle's grip on politics is less about ideas and more about weaponized nostalgia. The Obama years are remembered by her supporters as glamorous, sophisticated, and historic, even though the actual results of that era, stagnant wages, endless wars, racial division, tell a different story. Michelle is the glossy filter slapped over a messy reality, and Patrick makes it clear that she thrives on the fact that people prefer the fantasy. Her real political strength isn't leadership, it's marketing, the ability to smile in the spotlight while someone else does the dirty work. Patrick cuts even deeper when he highlights how Michelle's influence has shaped the Democratic Party. She embodies its obsession with image management, its reliance on personality over principle, and its inability to confront failure. Every time Democrats float her name as a possible candidate, it's not a sign of hope, it's a sign of desperation, proof they have no new ideas, no fresh talent, and no ability to move forward without dragging out the same recycled icons. Michelle is less a savior and more a reminder that the party has nothing left in its playbook but nostalgia and smoke. Obama's second term, he did none. Obama's first term, I think he did one. And Bush's first and second term, he did none on day one. This guy's come out the gates. One moment, he's talking to the World Economic Forum. Another second, we're looking at him. He's talking to California, chewing out, base and mayor base and talking to the folks there. Next minute, he's in Vegas talking about no tax on tips. Next minute, you're seeing him talking to military folks. Next minute, you're seeing him on the media. What makes Patrick's roast sting is how easily Michelle Obama's contradictions unravel under scrutiny. She claims to reject politics yet stays politically relevant. She insists she's tired of the spotlight yet never leaves it. She positions herself as an outsider while being one of the most connected elites in the world. The contradictions are so glaring that Patrick doesn't need to exaggerate them. They're practically begging to be exposed. Michelle's entire career after the White House has been built on monetizing fame while pretending to resist it. And that hypocrisy is what Patrick rips apart with ruthless precision. Her defenders will argue that she's inspiring, that her speeches and books uplift millions, that her story matters. But Patrick flips that narrative on its head by pointing out that inspiration without substance is hollow. It's one thing to write about hope, it's another to deliver on it, and Michelle never has. She leveraged hope as a brand but left nothing behind but slogans. Real leaders leave legacies measured in change, not ticket sales, streaming views, or best-selling memoirs. There's this story about Michelle Obama starting a podcast, and I kind of want to go through this. Michelle Obama's podcast with her brother. They started a podcast. They look like twins. If you want, I'm actually not being sarcastic. What is this, Rob? This is the announcement of the podcast. Okay, play the clip. Maybe this will help out a little with subscribership. Go on and play the clip. Hey TikTok, it's Michelle Obama, and I'm here with my big brother, Craig. Hey everybody, we're here because we're excited to announce the launch of our new podcast called I. The ultimate punch in Patrick's takedown comes when he frames Michelle as the perfect product of a broken system. She is a symbol of what politics becomes when it's consumed by performance, where branding outweighs achievement, where narrative overshadows reality, and where image is everything. Michelle isn't a stateswoman, she's a lifestyle brand. She isn't a leader, she's a curated fantasy. And Patrick leaves no doubt that her role in politics is less about the people and more about keeping herself relevant while the cameras are still rolling by the end. The roast lands exactly where it should. Michelle Obama is not the future of politics but a relic of a political era built on illusion. Patrick Bet David doesn't just destroy her reputation, he dismantles the illusion that Michelle is untouchable. What remains isn't the shining icon the media sells, but the reality of a figure who built a career on presence without purpose, applause without achievement, and power without accountability. It's a brutal reminder that even the most carefully polished myths collapse when faced with the weight of truth. And Patrick makes sure Michelle's collapse is unforgettable.